watching this video in which I would like to tell you something about my experience as an international researcher living from the University of Verona for an international program with the Johns Hopkins University, which is a university with which I collaborate since many years. I was supposed to leave on March 19 to go there for a period of 2 months of research and teaching as well. And when I realized that the things were getting pretty doom in Europe, I decided to leave earlier, and I exactly left on March 10. And if you remember, March 10 is the day in which Italy went in lockdown. So I remember that morning, I left my house at 3 a.m. and I went to the airport. The taxi driver was scared. He told me, "You are the single customer I had last day, and probably there will be no one tomorrow." The airport were deserted, the flight were deserted. And when I arrived in the United States, I was surprised. I had no checks of any kind, very few people at the airport. I just went home. And the very same day, news came from Johns Hopkins that all the activities were moved online. I realized that I would never have made my way to the campus. I was going to stay in that basement. And a few days later, there were the travel ban. So I realized there were no way to come back to Europe. Maybe I should have taken a boat, but that was not a good idea. So I started my life in a basement in Washington, D.C. I was very lucky in finding a great landlady. Everybody there was scared because remember, Italy was the epicenter of the pandemic in the eyes of everyone. So they thought to me, oh, the Italian guy coming from Milan, from northern Italy, is bringing the virus to our. Everybody was scared. It made sense. But she was not scared. She allowed me in her house. It was the basement of her beautiful house. And I was supposed to stay there 1 week, but it was difficult for me to find another place. So she let me stay for the whole period, total 41 days. Thank you, Faya. So I arrived there, and the first days were really appalling. I was desperate. What I have to do in a basement? I mean, it was in Washington, but in a beautiful neighborhood, but what to do there? And then I started contacting people at the University of Verona and people at the university and at the Johns Hopkins. And you know what? I found all these people at home, and they were not scared. They were really willing to continue to work. And we continued. We moved all our activities online. I started teaching. I had graduation both in Italy and the United States. And especially I did research from my basement for 40 days with the great support of the offices, of the back offices that you never see, but they work so hard. And they worked so hard and so enthusiastically in this period, and I'm grateful to them, and I will be grateful to them forever for supporting me. It was the most productive research period of my life. I'll show you something. So with Maria Flora, who is a postdoc at the Department of Economics at the University of Verona, I'm an economist, I work with financial markets. We completed a paper on the impact of turmoil, of volatility on Italian auctions. And you know that auctions on treasury bonds are so important for Italy because that's the main way of financing. And you know, it's even more important now because the government needs resources the most. And in this, if you're interested, we published during, you see, March 18, a blog on the blog of the Sole 24 Ore explaining our research in Italian. And if you're interested, our research can be found in here. And basically, we showed that on May 2018, it looks like ages from now, due to the change of government in Italy and an auction taking place the very same week, Italian taxpayers lost €500 million in a single day because of the fragility of the market. And we are continuing on this beautiful research agenda because, of course, with turmoil is the main keyword in financial markets after the pandemic spread. So I wanted to show you just a picture which is an output from a research I'm conducting with Dr. Flora as well, and with Gerardo Ferrara, who is an economist at the Bank of England. It's just showing the price of an Italian bond on March 12th. March 12th, if you remember, is the day in which Lagarde, in the ECB press conference, told everybody ECB is not going to close the spreads, meaning that the ECB decided that day not to help too much bond markets. Then they changed their mind 1 week later, of course. But the news was not released during Lagarde's speech. It was released at 1:45 p.m. here. You see how the price of the bond reacts immediately, going down like crazy because of the news. Actually, nothing happened during the Lagarde speak because the decision was already announced at 1:45 p.m. But what is interesting for us is not the efficiency of the market in here, is the inefficiency of the market in here in the morning. What happens at 11 a.m.? This bond is auctioned in the market. So the primary dealers are buying the bond at this price. And you can see from the morning price, the price goes down exactly at the time of the auction and then up again. So the dealers are getting a much lower price. And if you are interested, this movement costed to Italian taxpayers on this bond only 20 millions. Okay, and you can see this pentagram is in here is our test statistics that comes from econometric methods that we study, and you can see it's signaling pretty well that something inefficient happened there, and the market was fragile. So we are continuing on this because we strongly believe this can be helpful for authorities and financial markets, and especially during periods of pandemic, during the coronavirus spreading, in which markets are so volatile. So I wanted to end this video, but before I end this video, I wanted to tell you again that I discovered something during my period in the basement in Washington, D.C., those 40 days, that I worked with so many great people, both at the University of Verona and the Johns Hopkins University, that confirmed me even more of something that I already knew, that needs of the people are universal. And you know which is one need of everybody? To be helpful to your community. And people at the University of Verona and Johns Hopkins struggle so hard to be helpful to the students and to allow them to continue with their career, and to be helpful to researchers like me to be able to continue with their research programs, which most of the time they are unuseful, but sometimes they are so useful you cannot really dispense with them. And so I really want to thank you, and all the community should thank them, because we were able to work online. Not everybody is so lucky to be able to work online, but we could, and we did. And we did it for our people, for our community, for the students and the researchers. So thank you so much, and thank to you for watching this video, and I hope you liked it.